Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
The Seattle Mariners have yet to score a run in this quick series at Rangers Ballpark, but consecutive shutouts have come at a price. After a wicked shot knocked Nick Tepich out of yesterday's game in the second inning, it was left to the bullpen to take it the rest of the way. And they did just that, putting up 8 zeros. Today, the hope is that Justin Grimm has a nice deep start to give his bullpen a rest and to complete the sweep of the Mariners. It is an absolutely beautiful spring afternoon at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Just a few puffy clouds flitting by in the sky, and the Rangers look to puff up the Mariners and get a sweep in the final game of this 3-game series. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us on this great Sunday afternoon for Rangers baseball. And yeah, the Rangers are looking for their first sweep in almost a year. It's been that long, and they're going to rely on Justin Grimm, Tom, to make the statement in that way.
Well, it's a big game for Justin Grimm. You know, the bullpen had to be used extensively yesterday, so it's kind of a game where it's important for him to pitch deeply into the ball game. He hasn't started in 10 days. His first start in Seattle was kind of mixed. He only pitched 4 innings because he threw over 90 pitches. He gave up a lot of base runners, but he pitched really well when they had men on base, men in scoring position. He'll try to spread those 92 or 110 pitches over 6 or 7 innings today, and if he does, the Rangers will be pretty happy.
The Rangers are going to be thrilled if he can get that done, because the bullpen is a little short-handed today after yesterday's work. A Game 3 of this weekend series coming up. The Rangers looking for the sweep in front of the home crowd before they go back on the road. Rangers and Mariners next on Fox Sports Southwest. Brought to you by Ford. Take the EcoBoost Challenge at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. By the wireless receiver only from AT TEX. Visit att.com/free-your-TV. Rethink possible. Buy Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. And by a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver. Well, great afternoon. Great crowd filing into Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And before we get underway here this afternoon, let's say hello once again to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, Buzz, you and Tom talked about Justin Grimm getting his second start of the season, going on 10 days rest. He is grateful for the opportunity to take the mound yet again and improve on that first start. He said, however, he doesn't want to put too much emphasis on this start or anyone in particular.
Pretty much every day is an opportunity. You know, why not? You're trying to learn the game. You're trying to learn from these older guys. So, you know, every day is an opportunity. But you know, you only get out on the mound every so often. So, I guess it's a different type of opportunity. But you know, just gonna go into it, be aggressive, be confident, and go at it.
Justin Grimm with this afternoon's Geico quote of the game, and that's really what he's battling. He says not the physical, but the mental. He needs to be confident in his stuff, and Mike Maddox reiterated it, just talking about those internal mind games that he might be playing with himself. Hopefully he can put those aside here in start number 2 this afternoon, guys. All
right, Emily, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that, as will Ron Washington. And his club looking for their first sweep of a 3-game series since back in June of 2012. Here's the Mariner lineup this afternoon. Andy Chavez will lead off. Kyle Seager plays third, bat second. The DH and hitting third, Kendrys Morales. Michael Morse is in right field. Justin Smoke is the first baseman. Kelly Shopping back in the lineup, catching and batting sixth. Batting seventh, playing second, Dustin Ackley. Jason Bay is in left. And Brendan Ryan bats ninth and plays shortstop. All set to go. Andy Chavez leading things off against Justin Grimm. And the first pitch of the afternoon is low for ball one.
Now look at the Budweiser scouting report for Justin. We talked about his first start, 4 innings, gave up a couple of runs, threw over 90 pitches. That was against Seattle 10 days ago. Good high fastball for a strike. 19-9, 51 career minor league games, an ERA just a little bit over 3. He was the Rangers' 5th round pick, 2010, out of the University of Georgia.
And Chavez pulls it on the ground hard. It's off of Kinsler and out into shallow right field. Chavez is going for 2, and there will be no play as Cruz trying to come in to get the ball, but it stopped in a bad area out there for him. He couldn't get to it in time, and it's a 2-base error charged to Ian Kinsler.
It just came up on Ian a little bit. That's a ball that he'll catch almost every time. Took a little hop on him. Hit him hard enough to where it just didn't carry him far enough out to Nelly. Nelly, I'm sure, playing right field, assumed that Ian was going to make the play. And when he didn't have time to get it to keep Chavez at first base.
Here's Kyle Seager, who takes high for ball one. That error, by the way, for Ian Kinsler is 3rd of the year. For the Rangers, their 7th of the year. Rangers came in 4th in the American League in fielding. 1-0 pitch to Seager. Gets away from Soto very briefly, but staying at second is Chavez. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Now Giovanni going to go out and talk to Justin Grimm and see if he can get him to calm down and work around that error. You see Kyle Seager, the hottest Mariner hitter going. He's got a 9-game hitting streak.
And 9 of his 16 hits have been doubles. The Rangers have seen a bunch of those doubles.
Those 9 doubles, the most in Major League Baseball at this point. Now we're set to work. A lot of Ranger fans on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Ground ball right down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. Chavez around third will score. The ball gets by Murphy and is headed toward the corner. Seager not stopping, and now he puts the brakes on as Murphy able to grab it before it got to the corner. Well, the Mariners take a 1-0 lead on an error and a squib double.
Yeah, what a way to start the game. 2 ground balls turns into a run and man on second and nobody out. That was a good pitch right there by Justin. I'm sure Seager's got to be thinking to try to pull the ball to the right side of the infield. Instead, got jammed. Just dribbled a little ground ball right down the left field line.
And that's good for his 10th double and the 10-game hitting streak for Kyle Seager. Go to second with Elvis playing right behind the bag almost. There's another look at that double.
Really, it turned out to be an RBI double, but really not a great swing with a man on second and nobody out.
Grimm sets again, a couple of looks back to Seager. And a breaking ball pulled right back to Grimm. He's going to check the runner back to second. And underhand to Moreland. That's out number 1.
Ball never really hit the side where David was playing it, but fortunately he scampered back, makes a strong throw, and Seager had to stay at second base.
Enough nooks and crannies down either line here to really give people, even the guys that play here all the time, fits. So 1 away, Michael Morris steps in. Morris, the power hitting right fielder at 230. He has been in a bit of a nosedive of late. Grimm's first pitch to him got him on the fist, and a ground ball to Kinsler. It's going to be Grimm covering, overhand toss to him, and that's out number 2. On to third goes Seager.
Another little ground ball hit right off the handle, kind of like Seager hit his ball. Seager found a hole, but one Morse hit turns into a nice out. Good pitch right there by Justin. Several good pitches, really. Get the fastball right in on his fist.
And a good job by Grimm continuing to first base, even though the second baseman was going to handle the ball. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher see the second baseman's going to handle it and stops, assuming the first baseman's going to be back there to cover. And there ends up being nobody at the bag. Big breaking ball to Justin Smoak, and that dips in for strike 1. Smoak, as you can see, an even 200. 3 RBI. Takes a strike, good fastball. Pounding the bottom of that strike zone, and it's 0-2. Last 6 ball games in this ballpark, Justin Smoak has worn out the Ranger pitchers. .455 the average. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball, and a great rebound by Justin Grimm after the error. It produced a run on 1 hit and 1 error, 1 left for the Mariners. Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the first, trailing 1-0 on Fox Sports Southwest. In April, and let's take a look at the Rangers starting lineup, brought to you by First Financial Bank. Ian Kinsler leads off. Elvis Andrews bats second. Lance Berkman is the DH. He hits third. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman, bats cleanup. David Murphy is in left. Nelson Cruz bats 6, plays right field. Mitch Moreland's at first. Giovanni Soto's behind the plate batting 8th. And Leonis Martin, the center fielder, bats 9th.
And Aaron Harang is on the mound for Seattle. He's had one start. Pretty good start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, didn't walk anybody in that start and struck out 6. In his career, he's won 105 ball games, a .500 record, an ERA just a little bit over 4. He was acquired from Colorado at the beginning of the season. He actually went to spring training with the Dodgers, was traded to Colorado on the 6th of April, designated for assignment the same day, and then later traded on to Seattle.
Fastball up and into Ian. 2 of them have been there. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Ginzer, a .290 average for the year. Still the team leader with 5 home runs and 11 runs driven in. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Harang having a hard time getting the ball down in the strike zone. .3-0 pitch. And the strike at the knees.
Harang last year with the Dodgers was 10-10. His .361 ERA at age 33 was the best ERA in a season that he'd ever had. So he's coming off a pretty good year with the Dodgers.
And he delivers strike 2. That fills the count. Well, Ian trying to get aboard against Harang. He is leading things off for the Rangers. Elvis Andrus waiting in the on-deck circle to follow. Harang's payoff pitch. And we'll try it again. Ian doing what a good leadoff hitter does, and that's see a lot of pitches. Making Harang work a little bit here in the first inning. And this one popped up on the right side. Justin Smoke, arms extended, making the call, and the catch. That is out number 1. Now we'll take a look at the rest of the Seattle defense here this afternoon. Jason Bay the start in left field. Chavez in center, Morse in right. You saw Smoke at first base. Ackley and Ryan up the middle. Kyle Seager at third. Kelly Shopping behind the plate. And Aaron Harang is on the hill. Crew chief Angel Hernandez calling the balls and strikes. Doug Eddings at first. John Tumpane at second. Eric Cooper is over third. Here's Elvis, who's hitting .194. He goes the other way. A line drive to right that's going to settle in front of Michael Morse. There you go, Elvis.
I guess the only surprise there was that Morse didn't come in and dive for it and make a miraculous catch.
Now Elvis snaps an 0 for 13 with that solid base hit to right field. How many balls do you think he would tell you he's hit harder than that in the last couple of weeks that haven't fallen in?
Yeah, that's typical of the kind of ball that he's been hitting to right field. He's probably hit 6, 7, 8 balls just like that,
yeah,
that the right fielder has either come in for, gone back, left, right, you name it. And he's probably hit 4 or 5 hard shots to the infield, harder than that.
Elvis thought about it and put the brakes on as he took off towards second. A couple of steps. Pitch to Berkman outside. Lance, .381 the average. Still a .500 on-base percentage. He has had a lot of experience against Mariners' Aaron Harang. .259 the average over nearly 60 at-bats. Fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. Berkman, of course, didn't play in either game in Chicago. The lack of a DH and the cool weather kept him out of there. And since coming back at home, he's had 2 straight 1-for-3 games. Elvis draws a throw from Harang. Aaron Harang, a big right-hander, about 6 feet 5 inches tall, and takes him a little while to unwind to first base. 6'7", excuse me. 6 feet 7 inches tall, about 260 pounds. Changeup that floats in. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the quote Bart Elvis talking about his recent struggles. No way you can be frustrated when you're hitting the ball that well. You're hitting the ball good. I haven't been lucky. That's very true. Probably go as far as to say you've been unlucky. And Orang another toss to first. Pretty good matchup of wily veterans here. Berkman facing Harang. Elvis a good lead at first. He's staying put, and the pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lance a couple of RBI. Base hit last night. He is second on the team, having driven in 10. One behind Ian Kinsler. 2-2 as Harang comes set. Got him swinging. That tailing fastball, and Lance Berkman couldn't get a piece of it. He asked Angel Hernandez on the way back, was that a strike? Hernandez applied in the affirmative.
That's a good pitch. Right where he wanted to throw it. Down and away with some movement. Just kind of tailed away from Lance. That's what the movement on a fastball can do to a good hitter.
Now 2 gone with Elvis still at first. Here's Adrian Beltre. And Beltre has had a moderate number of at-bats against Harang. Pitch out, no action going here.
Harang originally was a 6th round draft choice of the Rangers back in 1999. Spent most of his career in Cincinnati from 06 to 2010. He had 5 opening day starts for Cincinnati.
One 1-0 pitch, and that's off the mark. 2 balls and no strikes. Beltre checking with Gary Pettis, the third base coach. Let's see. Adrian's been in a little bit of a downturn, 1 for 10, and see if Elvis decides to take off here. He's staying put, and the pitch fouled away to the right. It's 2-1. Beltre a little disgusted as he is knocking some dirt off the cleats. Just underway, bottom of the first inning, a 1-0 a Mariner lead.
That's the one you dream of right there.
That ball hit well to center field. Chavez going back at the track and puts the brakes on to make the catch. Well, Adrian didn't quite get all of it, but gave it a pretty good ride to no avail. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left. On to the second. 1-0 Seattle. Grimm, and now the big right-hander goes back out to face the number 6 man to start things off here in the second. That's Kelly Shopping. It'll be Shopik, Ackley, and Bay. Grimm only needed 11 pitches to work through that first inning. And he throws ball one that misses just a little bit low to the Fort Worth native, Kelly Shopik.
Yeah, that was a great job by Justin pitching out of that jam in the first inning. 2-base error, a little dribbler down the line for a double, man on second, 1 run in, nobody out. And he just mowed him down 1, 2, 3 after that. Strikeout and 2 weakly hit ground balls. Got very aggressive and went right after him.
And hearing Justin's comments after his start in Seattle and what Mike Maddox had said he talked to him about, that aggressiveness was something he wanted to harness and get back out there on a consistent basis. Mike Maddox, a very positive guy and a very positive message that he left with Grimm. That ball is tattooed down the left field line. It's going to go to the wall. And Shopik will have a leadoff double as Murphy gets the ball back in. There's nothing cheap about that. Shopik, a very good fastball hitter, and he got a pitch on the inside part of the plate that he could turn on. No leadoff double. Dustin Ackley coming up. Let's say hello to Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, appreciate it, Buzz. Ranger fans out in full force today, looking for a sweep. Let's go Rangers. All right, Community Corner this afternoon. We're talking about what happened last night. That is a great opportunity for the Rangers in Major League Baseball. They teamed together to bring awareness to autism, and Lily Johnson, the representative for Autism Speaks, throughout the first pitch. She did a great job. Justin, get the out right there. And to find out more about Autism Speak and how can you help out, log on to autismspeaks.org. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. Now, Dustin Ackley dragging a ball to the right side. Got the sacrifice bunt down, and on to third goes Shopik. He's there with 1 out, and Jason Bay will be the hitter. The Rangers with Bay at the plate, pulling the infield in just in front of halfway. See, both Elvis and Ian up the middle are up in front of their double play depth. And the first pitch for ball one to Bay. Bay hitting at just 212 against the Rangers this year, though he's had a little bit more success. 231. 1-0 pitch from Grimm.
And when you're trying to cut the runoff, you bring the infield in as far as you feel like you need to bring them in based on the speed of the runner at third base. And got the catcher at third base. Feeling is you probably don't have to play in all the way on the grass, which might give you a better chance to cut off a ground ball.
Beltre and Shopik, John back and forth. An advantage to have a catcher at third base. Catchers typically don't run as well. Now a little chat by Soto to Grimm, and we'll see what they come up with. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Bay waiting, and the pitch on the way. That is outside and low. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Bay hitting in the number 8 slot. He'll be followed by the number 9 man. That's Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. Grimm from the stretch, the 3-0 pitch. Threw a breaking ball and got it in. Giving Jason Bay quite a bit of credit on 3-0.
Either that or he felt like that was the pitch he could throw for a strike.
Could be. Inside, ball 4. Well, the 1-out walk now. Runners at the corners, and Brendan Ryan coming to the plate. That's the first walk issued by Justin Grimm, and it brings a visit from Mike Maddox. Mike out there, just a little reminder. You want to keep that aggressiveness going. You want to keep going at people, and also you remember a situation like this in Seattle where, with Robbie Ross on the mound, Brendan Ryan got a squeeze sign and got the bunt down, but Chavez coming down the line from third didn't get a great jump, and Robbie Ross able to get the out at home as he shoveled it onto Pierzynski at that particular play. So I'm sure Mike, with that fresh in his mind, will remind both Soto and Grimm of the squeeze possibility. Middle of the infield now, back a double play depth. Brendan Ryan hitting a .152. First 3 weeks of the 2013 season. First pitch to him on the way. And a foul ball on that sinking fastball. Oh, for his last 15 times to the plate is Brendan Ryan. 6 strikeouts, one of them last night against Tanner Shepard. Shepard threw in 3 fastballs, and Brendan Ryan had no chance. The 0-1 pitch. Off the fist. That's out of play on the right. And the count very quickly goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
And when you're struggling, it feels like the count's 0-2 every time you go up there. Got to make a good pitch. You're following off, and you try to avoid saying to yourself, uh-oh, here we go again. 0-2.
Yeah, the last couple of times he's been up there, it has been 0-2. Just took 2 pitches to get there. Grimm to the plate, and Ryan just able to get a piece of that slow breaking ball.
With a good curveball. It's one Justin Smokes swung and missed at. Ryan just able to get a piece of it. If you're going for the strikeout, that's a pretty good pitch to get it with.
Grimm bent at the waist, taking the signs. The right-hander comes set. Again the 0-2, and again fouled off. Another breaking ball, and you might be doing Ryan a favor throwing him too many breaking balls in a row.
Now, one thing you don't want to do is hang him one, because he's 0-2. He's going to swing at anything close. Just definitely have to make a good pitch with it.
Grimm ratcheting up the intensity, trying to get that punch out as Giovanni Soto going through the signs. Got him swinging. Went up the ladder and foul tip into Soto's glove. A very big strikeout for Justin Grimm, 2 away.
Yeah, that was just about the perfect pitch after the 2 curveballs that were down, slow, and that he swung at. 0-2. Try to make him chase a high one. Ryan's just trying to make some contact, but he just threw it by him. That's a big strikeout. Man on third base in less than 2 outs.
Now Andy Chavez. Chavez hit the ball sharply, but right at Ian Kinsler in the first inning, and Ian couldn't come up with it. Looks at a breaking ball here for strike 1.
It was an unearned run, but the run that Seattle scored in the first inning, that's the first run they've scored in 19 innings. In fact, over the last 45 innings, they've only scored in 2 innings in the last 45 innings. So they've had all sorts of problems scoring runs.
0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball that finds the back door open.
Good curveball for Justin so far today.
Sure has been. Now the advantage, Justin Grimm. Chavez down in the count, 0-2. Chopping at third, Bay at first. And Bay draws the throw from Grimm. He's back with a dive. Grimm ready to work. Breaking ball pulled right down the line. It's a fair ball. And Mitch Moreland right at the bag makes the catch and steps on first. So that'll do a great job by Justin Grimm working around the leadoff double. 2 left. 1.5 gone by. Seattle by 1. Twitter question today. Our Twitter poll wants to find out, what is your favorite baseball movie? And the choices we have given you, hashtag FS Field of Dreams, The Natural, Major League, League of Their Own, or Bull Durham. Go to Twitter and pick your answer. We'll give you the results later in the game. There are 7,000 baseball movies out there, and I know you guys probably have ones of your favorites that we couldn't mention, but those are the ones that an astute panel came up with as the most likely selectees. David Murphy takes a strike. It is 1-1. Murphy leading things off in the bottom of inning number 2. Rangers trailing 1-0. Murphy at 183 now as Harang deals a knee-high strike. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murph with his second home run of the year last night. A line shot into the bullpen. And he's down swinging here as he foul tips it into the glove of Kelly Shopping. That is out number 1 and the second strikeout for Aaron Harang. Let's go back down and say hello to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, as you noted, the offense not exactly clicking from top to bottom. One of the guys that's been struggling, Mitch Moreland at the plate, 1 for his last 19. But as you saw in that last inning, playing a pretty good first base.
It's not always going to go well at the plate, and I mean, you're going to have your times in the field where it doesn't feel great either. So, just trying to help out any way I can. It hadn't been falling, so I feel like I need to do something on the defensive end. And fortunately, I've had some opportunities, and there's probably some plays that I still should have made. So you can always get better, and that's kind of the way I'm going to approach it.
We saw Elvis kind of break out of that schneid here this afternoon. Perhaps Mitch Moreland, the next guy.
All right, Ed, thank you. 2 hopper off the bat of Nelson Cruz down to Kyle Seager. And the third baseman fires it across the diamond. 2 up, 2 away. And Mitch Moreland coming up.
Well, that was right on the line. So if he doesn't get that, a lot of damage would have been done.
And Mitch has really turned into, for a guy who didn't play a whole lot of first base until a couple of years ago, he has turned into a very good defensive first baseman. He was more of an outfielder and a pitcher in high school and college. He's turned into a very good defensive first baseman. And he takes strike 1 from Harang. Right-hander to the wind and back to the plate. It's a bit outside. A ball and a strike to Mitch. Couple of home runs, 4 driven in for Moreland. He's done his damage here at home. Fouls that out of play. Moreland hitting over 300 in the 7 games he has played in this ballpark this year. 304 to be exact. Both of his home runs and 2 of his 4 RBI have come in front of the home crowd. Harang's 1-2.
That almost came back. It did come back, but maybe not quite far enough.
I would think Harang is the kind of guy, Tom, that you would call sneaky fast. As big as he is and kind of an easy motion. It's inside.
But he's got that kind of short arm, quick arm speed. Right, ball lets go of the ball right behind his ear. So it is. I bet it is hard to pick up. Rangers haven't, for the most part, seen a lot of him either.
3-2 pitch, chopped deep and behind the bag at first. Smoke underhands to Harang covering, and they get Mitch Moreland. Side retired in order, 5 straight now set down by Aaron Harang. We're going to the 3rd. Mariners 1, Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. box office prices and lock in postseason options with the Fans Choice 20-game plan. Enjoy the flexibility of selecting the 20 games you want and choose from 9 locations starting at only $180 per plan. Learn more at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972 Rangers extension 3. Top of the 3rd inning. Justin Grimm fires strike 1 to Kyle Seager. Seager drove in the only run of the game so far with a little dribbler double down the 3rd baseline. So Seager now a 10-game hitting streak. A rip and a miss on the breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Another good curveball. John Knight is here with his son LJ. LJ's grandmother Dee Dee is in Baylor Hospital in Dallas. We want to have her get better soon. Send our best wishes to her. She's a great Ranger fan. Dee Dee, I hope you're watching right now and hope you're feeling better and hope you get out soon.
Well, you can almost guarantee it'll make her feel better if the Rangers win.
That's for sure.
See what we can do about that. 1-2 pitch coming from Grimm. And it's a bit low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Seager. Seager 10 doubles already this season, and he's leading all of baseball with that figure. Grimm to the wind, the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball, and that's chopped foul at home plate. Seager walking around until the pain stops. About 7 of his last 11 hits have been doubles. Grimm reading the signs, and the right-hander's ready to go. Hot shot the other way. That's a base hit through the hole. Now Seager really swinging a hot bat right now. Boy, he's coming pretty good. Now it's time for a Mazda game break, and here's Dana Larson. Dana. All right, Dana, thank you. Kendrys Morales at the plate. Morales got jammed pretty well and tapped right back to the box his first time up. He's got Seager at first base. Nobody out here in the 3rd inning. Rangers with that shift on. And the fastball sails wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Morales, another of the veteran type hitters that the Mariners brought over to stick in the middle of that order. Enable guys like Seager and Ackley and Smoke to have a little of the pressure taken off of them. 2-1 the count now as Grimm misses high and away. Morales, former Angel and a switch hitter. Had good success again away from Safeco Field in his last 6 ball games. Seager back as Grimm made him dive back to the bag. Right-hander's ready. And misses off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. Make that 3 and a strike. Well, Morales with the distinct advantage in the count. He's hitting in the number 3 slot. He'll be followed by the right fielder, that's Michael Morse. Seager extending that lead about a half step. He's on the move. 3-1 pitch is fouled back. And we'll try it all again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Wedge allowing Seager to take off with the pitch. Mariners, as we've said, have had a devil of a time scoring runs for the last couple of weeks, as a matter of fact. So any way they can get people moving around and give them a little better opportunity to get a base hit, they're going to do it. To throw to first, and Seager a little jab step toward second, then had to dive back. Mike Grumley, the first base coach, coming in to tell Seager something. He's on the move again. The pitch again fouled away. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up as Grimm okays the sign, gets set. Seager on the move again, and the ball is grounded to Kinsler's right. Thought about flipping it out of the glove to Elvis and thought better of it. Goes on to first. That's the out, and Seager safely aboard at second.
Well, sometimes you could still get the out at second base even if the runner's running, but that would have been a gamble. The good part about it is you've got Morales running, so it probably wouldn't have been a hard thing for Elvis to step out of the way and still throw him out at first base. But anytime you're flipping it out of the glove, you're risking a bad throw, and he probably made the smart thing. Make sure you get one.
And they indeed got one. Now Michael Morris grounded out to the right side, his first time up. And the breaking ball dropped in by Justin Grimm.
Yeah, Justin's doing a nice job of throwing strikes. 29 strikes, 13 balls, 42 pitches.
Grimm a look at second, and he's going to go there with a throw, and it's very close as Seager had a bad first step getting back to the bag. Looked like he spun his wheels a little bit. And that throw perfectly right on the bag by Grimm. Oh, and 1 the count. Fastball inside, and Morris, after getting jammed the first time at bat, decided better of swinging at that pitch again. Morris still tied for the league lead in home runs with 6. He's been stuck on 6 for 12 days now. Breaking ball, good pitch. It is 1-2.
Justin's first game was against the Astros, and he had really good stuff. He's got the same kind of curveball today that he did against the Astros.
Right-handers ready, a check of second. Another look down there and back, and he got him swinging. Back-to-back hooks, and they were dandies.
One right after the other.
3 strikeouts now for Grimm, 2 outs, and Justin Smoke coming up.
You threw it right where you want to throw. It's a big breaking curveball, and so it starts as a pitch that looks like a strike to the hitter, and as he goes to swing at it, he starts to realize, oops, that's not going to be a strike, and I'm going to have a hard time making contact with it.
Now, some curveballs, you know, they kind of euphemistically call Uncle Charlie. This is Sir Charles that Justin Grimm is out there with today. You give that a lot of respect. There's a good fastball to Smoke, and it's strike 1.
Well, Justin's been at his best after they get the leadoff man on every inning. See if he can close out another inning with a man in scoring position.
Smoke struck out in the first to end that frame. He's down on the count here, 0-2.
I don't think he's made a bad curveball yet.
Doesn't look like. I can't remember one. Certainly hasn't made a bad pitch that got hit with a curveball. Grimm of the 0-2 pitch. Tried that tailing fastball at 95. Scooted up there in a hurry at times. You like to see that out of a young pitcher too. That tells you his development is reasonably far along, able to change speeds with the fastball. He's cruising along at 91, 92, and all of a sudden pops 95 on you when he wants to strike out. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got it. Foul tip. Soto hangs on, and Justin Grimm back-to-back strikeouts. He has 4 in the afternoon, and again works around potential trouble. 1 left on the hit, 2.5 in the books. 1-0 Mariners. Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Take the EcoBoost Challenge at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box, where the Chipotle Chicken Club combo is back. The Rangers going to work in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing 1-0. Giovanni Soto, Leonis Martin, and Ian Kinsler, the first 3 to do the swinging against Aaron Harang. And Soto fouls it straight back and out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Soto has had a good amount of at-bats against Harang. 5 for 23 in his career, all those with the Cubs. Breaking ball, that catches the outside corner. Boy, Harang doing some slicing and dicing here in the early going of that strike zone. That's a little bit low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harang last year with the Dodgers set a franchise record, and you know the Dodgers have been noted on occasion for pretty good pitching over the history of the franchise. Just outside, Harang struck out 9 straight, and that was the most ever in a franchise that had Don Newcomb and Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale and Orel Hershiser and folks like that. That's saying something. Payoff pitch. And Soto fouls it straight back. Giovanni getting his 4th start. He's probably going to see a little more consistent action now that the off days have gotten out of the way. He's gone on strikes here as Harang went upstairs and Giovanni couldn't catch up. Strikeout number 3 for Harang. 1 away, and Leonis Martin coming up. Martin to start today in center field. He has had a little more success in his last few ball games as he showed bunt, taken for a strike. He's gone 5 for 16 in his last 7 games. And a batting average which had been at .077, now up to its present .207. Harang pulling the string and Martin way out in front. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Harang's a veteran. He knows what he's doing out there. Doesn't necessarily light up the radar gun, but he's got a, as you said, Buzz, a sneaky fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup, and really good command with his pitches too.
That fastball fouled straight back into the seats. It's still 0-2.
Good movement on his fastball. He could throw it inside to a lefty and come back and catch the inside corner. Saw the nice one he threw to Lance Berkman on the outside corner that tailed a little bit out of the strike zone. Got Lance to swing and miss at it.
That pitch very high coming out of the crouch. Kelly Shopping leaping up to make that grab. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Martin. Orang twice a 16-game winner for the Cincinnati Reds. The breaking ball doesn't quite come back into the zone. It's 2-2. Next pitch on the way. Fastball hit well to right center field. Going back is Morse. He's at the wall. Goodbye. A line drive home run for Leonis Martin, and the Rangers are on top 1-0.
Kind of a similar home run to the one that David Murphy hit in last night's ball game. A line shot. I feel pretty good it's going to at least be in the gap. Not sure if it's going to carry far enough. But Leonis hit it hard enough and just snuck it into the Ranger bullpen.
And so the Rangers were on top. They're even now at 1-1, but they're on top as far as earned runs are concerned. Well, Leonis Martin, his first home run of the year, his first RBI of the year. 378 feet into that Ranger bullpen in right field. Now that's the kind of power that Rangers organization evaluated Leonis to have. Oh, look out. Fastball up and in. And it got Kinsler on the hand. He was squaring around to bunt. And Orang had come inside a couple of times the first at bat to Kinsler. And Ian Show and Bunt couldn't get back out of the way quickly enough. Looks like he's going to be okay making that trip down to first base.
I don't know how. That thing hit him right in the hand at 90 miles an hour. Maybe it glanced off him. Hopefully that's the case. Nick Tepish last night, boy, we thought he got hurt a lot worse than he did. Somehow he escaped without anything being broken. Looks like Ian's going to do the same thing.
So Kinsler hit by the pitch is at first. He follows Leonis Martin, who not only had his first home run of the year, his first big league home run. That line shot into the Ranger bullpen.
Good place to hit it if you want to get it back as a souvenir, right into your own bullpen.
Here's Elvis. And he takes a breaking ball that hangs a bit high for ball 1. Elvis, that single to right field, snapped an 0 for 13 streak. He's got that batting average now back up over the 200 mark. Kinsler at first has a pretty good lead. Orang checking him and goes that way with the throw. And Dave Anderson over to have a word or two with Kinsler.
Well, if he had a move like James Shields or one of those righties with a quick move, he might have picked a couple of guys off today.
Yeah, that's right. Kinsler again extending that lead in the pitch outside. 2-0 the count. Elvis checking with Gary Pettis. Pettis at third, going through the series of signs, relaying them to Ian Kinsler at first and to Elvis Andrus at the plate. Good combination for a hit and run if Ron Washington chooses to use it. Fastball strike, and this is a pretty good count too at 2-1. Gary will go through those signs again. Ian looked back to Dave Anderson. What do you say? What was that? Supposed to run until I get tagged? No, that was not it, Ian. Kinsler stepping off the lead. He has a pretty good win at first. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Kinsler read it very well. That ball not getting very far from Shopping, but far enough with Kinsler's jump. He's able easily to advance to second base on the wild pitch.
That's part of the aggressive base running and something that Ron Washington wants to see improve this year. And Ranger base runners do a great job. They see that ball in the dirt. For the most part, they're off. Occasionally, it'll stay right in front of the catcher, and they might make a play. But more often than not, you're going to get the base if you go the minute it hits the dirt.
Now the 3-1 pitch. That's hit well to right field. Morse going back, still going back, reaches up and makes the catch. Kinsler will tag at second and advance to third. Boy, Elvis giving that a pretty good ride to right field. Sent Morse to the warning track to haul it in.
All he had to do is get it up in the air just a little bit. It's a line drive that Morse makes a nice play on. He gets back and spears it. Gets it up in the air. It probably carries into the second or third row. Another well-hit ball. It's the kind of ball we've been talking about. Elvis lined one in front of Morse for a base hit the first time up. Talked about some of the balls that he's had caught this year, and that's a pretty good example of what it's been all season long.
So now with Kinsler at third, 2 outs. And Lance Berkman will need a base hit to get him home. And he takes just inside for ball 1. Lance, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Infield for Seattle, a couple of steps around to the right side with Berkman hitting left-handed. And the pitch on the outside corner. A good look at the hole at what would normally be the shortstop position. Kyle Seager trying to cut it down as much as he can, but the guy at third, you have to be a little bit close to third base. Now the 1-1. Way inside. Jackknifing out of the way, Lance Berkman, and that ball almost got by Shopping. Boy, Harang's making Shopping move around back there this inning. Two balls, 1 strike the count. Now the right-hander ready, a check of third. It's 2-2. Lance Berkman has been among the best in the league with runners in scoring position. And he's got Ian down there at third base with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Lewis did get a piece of that. And we'll try it again at 2-2. Elvis watching things happen. Harang back to the plate. Call strike 3. There's that comeback fastball, and Berkman caught looking. So he has struck out twice. The Rangers, though, strike for a run on Leonis Martin's first major league home run. They strand a runner, and we'll go to the 4th. It's now the Rangers 1, the Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. On the board, his first major league home run in the bottom of the third. Now we go to the top of the fourth, and Kelly Shoppach will lead things off. A 1-1 game. Shoppach 1 out of 1 today. He doubled to lead off the second. And Jason Grimm able to work around that leadoff two-bagger. Stranded a couple of runners, and now Shoppach leading off the fourth. Kelly hitting at .360 for the year. Grimm's 1-0 pitch. Ripping a miss, and the count is even.
I have an anniversary to mention. Carol and Dale Henterling have their anniversary today. Happy anniversary to Carol and Dale.
Say how many it was?
41.
Wow, great. Congratulations. Chop foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes now to Shoppach. Shoppach getting a little more playing time, and Eric Wedge has said that with Jesus Montero struggling a little bit offensively and trying to work on some things defensively, that Kelly Shoppach would get some more playing time than originally been planned. They want Montero to spend some extra time working on things before and after the ballgame. Pitch fouled out of play to the right. Shoppach, of course, helping in that development process with Montero, and also by how Kelly Shoppach handles things, working day to day, and he's trying to educate Montero. Eric Wedge said nothing better than having a player that you can emulate, that you see every day. And that's the fastest way to learn. Got him swinging.
There's that curveball again. 3 straight strikeouts. Middle of the order.
Cook. 1 away, and before Ackley comes up, let's say hello to Jim Knox again. Jim.
All right, thanks, Buzz. With Karen Morris of the Rangers here to talk about Triple Play. When is that, Karen?
Right. The Park Place Dealerships Texas Rangers Triple Play is 2 weeks from today, so it's always a fan favorite. Our favorite players participate in game shows like the $25,000 Pyramid and A Minute to Win It. And it always features a very popular rookie performance. There's a limited number of seats available, so people should come out and help the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. We have a lot of great auction items, including a trip on the team plane, so it's a great night.
How do they get tickets?
They can call 817-436-5933 or visit TexasRangers.com.
There you go. Appreciate it, Karen. Good seeing you. Thank you, Buzz.
All right, Jim. Karen, thank you. That'll always be a fun time. 1-1 pitch to Ackley. Little looping pop-up into shallow left field. Going out is Elvis. He makes the catch. And 2 are retired in a row. 5 in a row over the last couple of innings by Justin Grimm and company.
In Justin's first start in Seattle, I think Mike Maddox felt that maybe he was giving the hitters a little bit too much credit, trying to be too careful, trying to make them swing at bad pitches out of the strike zone. And as we've mentioned today, Buzz, to be a little more aggressive, pound the strike zone. And he's done that today. He's pitched out of some jams. He's had a good fastball. Curveball's been his best pitch, but he's thrown 58 pitches, and 40 of them have been strikes. Good movement on his fastball.
Yep.
So far, so good. Exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, and it's real easy, I think, Tom, for guys watching somebody like Jason Grimm, a young pitcher, to say, he's got great stuff. How come he's getting hit so hard? Well, it's hard for the pitcher to believe that, to really take that, to understand how good his stuff is, until he gets enough feedback by pitching innings to understand it.
Yeah, get your confidence up.
Yep. And understand where you're. Well, like Mike Maddox said, be as good as you know you are, and to maintain that. 2-2 now. The count to Bay. Bay is the only hitter that Grimm walked. That was with Kelly Shoppach at third and 1 out in the second. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. That is the 6th strikeout by Justin Grimm. He's retired 6 in a row. We are through 3.5. The Rangers won, the Mariners won on Fox Sports Southwest. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Southwest for Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be the middle third of the Ranger order. Beltre, Murphy, and Cruz to face Aaron Harang. Beltre skied to deep center field his first time to the plate. Looks at strike one here. Beltre sent Andy Chavez, the center fielder, 3/4 of the way back on the track in center field to haul in that long fly ball. Harang's 0-1 pitch. He dropped the hook on the outside corner. It is 0-2 to Beltre. Adrian now just 1 for his last 11 times to the plate. Looked like he'd gotten things turned around. It's this one off the end of the bat up the middle. And Ryan, a throw to Smoke. That is out number 1. And let's go back down and say hello again to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, fellas, the Rangers offense has begun to show some signs of life in this series. 12 runs in the first 2 games. David Murphy crossing his fingers that it's a sign of things to come.
We know, we know we're capable of. We know that's going to happen plenty more. We just kind of have not gotten into the sync of things yet and gelled as an offense like we know that we're capable of. So there's too much talent for that not to happen more and more, and we know it's going to.
And it does seem like those runs are coming later on in the ball games. Perhaps today a sign of things to come, as they might score some later in the ball game, guys.
Number 2. Now Murphy fouls out, and with 2 gone, it'll bring up Nelson Cruz. Cruz a ground ball to third in the second inning. Nelly with that average, as you can see, at 273. And Harang deals to the outside corner for strike 1. Nelly 0 for 4 yesterday and 1 for 4 the night before. Hits that one right off the end of the bat. It's over Smoke's head and into right field. A crazily bouncing ball that finally is tracked down by Ackley in right field.
Yeah, they're diving all over the place for that ball. Smoke lunged for it, couldn't reach it. Ackley tried to catch it, had so much spin on it, he couldn't get to it. And Nelly ends up with what'll look like a line drive to right field tomorrow. Sliced it right over Smoke, and the ball's spinning and goes right by Ackley. Ackley might have had a shot at throwing back to the pitcher at first base if he was able to catch it, but it had that crazy spin on it. Bounced right by him.
Looked like one of those super balls. You ever play with one of those?
Yeah.
Spin it, it bounces the opposite way, and that looked like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Elvis is sitting over there saying, "How do you do that?" Yeah, Mitch Moreland is swinging a foul back. It's 0-1. Elvis would love to take instruction on how to get something like that to fall in. Mitch Moreland, a ground ball to his counterpart, Justin Smoke, back in the second inning. Now Cruz at first, 2 outs. And the pitch is downstairs, and now Shopik going to go out and say something to Harang. And Shopik, despite spending half the year last year with the Mets, still has a good idea about American League hitters. And Aaron Harang has not seen American League hitters very much at all. And so he's going out to just to remind him what they've gone over as far as scouting reports and what they wanted to do, the game plan that they had before the contest. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Shopik able to corral that. 2 balls and a strike. Orang pairing in for the sign. Cruz getting his lead at first. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Going back is Chavez. He's turned. He looked. Goodbye. Mitch Moreland, dead center field. A 2-run blast. The Rangers lead 3-1.
So we get the little 2-out blooper that barely fell in for a hit. And Mitch hits it halfway up on the hill in center field. Boy, put a charge in that one.
There's what Mitch was looking for. That bomb to dead center halfway up Green's Hill. And the Rangers lead by a pair. Moreland, his third home run. He now has 6 RBI. Giovanni Soto is next, and the breaking ball hangs inside to him.
Pretty good pitch to hit. Orang doesn't even have to turn around. The sound of the bat told him where that one was going.
422 feet. Yeah, unfortunately, most experienced pitchers would tell you they know exactly what that sounds like. It was a shot foul as Soto turned on one and pulled it just past Gary Pettis down the third base line. One ball and 2 strikes. Call strike 3. Giovanni caught leaning on that curveball, and it was the 3rd strike. But the Rangers come up with a pair of 2-out runs on Mitch Moreland's 3rd home run of the year. We're going to the 5th inning. Rangers 3, Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas-sized jackpots. It's Texas' original jackpot game, available at your favorite lottery retailer. Now Mitch Moreland got the Rangers ahead in this ball game. His big 2-run shot. And as we go to the 5th inning, joining us as he does on the majority of our telecasts, co-host of Rangers Live, Mark McLemore. Mac, thanks for coming in. You got here just in time for the fireworks.
I did. I saw that. It's a nice view to catch it from, too.
Justin Grimm dealing a strike to Brendan Ryan to start things off. Justin Grimm a little bit different today than he was in Seattle.
Very different today. Thank goodness.
Well, he's had all his pitches working, too. He's had good movement on his fastball, a really good curveball. There's a slider. He's working quickly, working confidently.
That's the key. He just looks very confident out there. He's going out there just being aggressive. He's attacking the strike zone.
Ryan fouls off that high fastball. That's the pitch that he went down flailing at his first time up. How long did it take you to figure out when you had a young pitcher on the mound, when you were playing defensively behind him, that it was going to be the kind of day where you could relax a little bit and do your thing? or whether you're going to have to kind of nursemate him through.
It just depended on who the pitcher was. Sometimes you'd know right away as soon as they got to the mound. You'd know right, in the first few pitches if they're nowhere near the strike zone, and just looking at their demeanor. Once you get to know those pitchers, you can just look in their eyes, know their demeanor, if they've got it that day or not. So some days, unfortunately, it would be that first inning. You don't ever want it to be the first inning.
Breaking ball hangs inside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. I've heard some guys say they could tell by the way the guy walked from the dugout to the mound to start the game how he was feeling about himself. Here's a base hit to center field as Ryan got that pitch out away from him and slapped it right back through the middle. That is a leadoff base hit, and it'll bring up Andy Chavez.
Center fielder Andy Chavez.
Well, Ryan's been struggling, but he got a pitch that he could handle right there. First time up, fastball was up around his chin, and he missed it. This one is out over the plate, pretty much right down the center of the plate, and he was able to handle that one.
Well, for Ryan, that snaps an 0 for 16 streak. 1 on, nobody out. Andy Chavez 0 for 2, although he did reach on an error, and he pounds this one to dead center field. Going back is Martin. He reaches up and can't get it. It's one hopped off the wall. Ryan being waved around third. There will be no throw, and a double by Chavez off the center field wall. The Mariners climb to within 1. It's now 3-2.
Looked like Martin got turned around a little bit on that ball. Not sure if he didn't track it well. About halfway through his trip back to the wall to try to catch that ball, it looked like he took a little stutter step, then couldn't quite get to it. Not sure if he misjudged it, if it carried a little bit better than he thought. Right in here. No, just never quite got to it, I guess.
A single and now a double, and the Mariners have climbed to within a single run of the Rangers. Justin Grimm now facing Kyle Seager, who is 2 for 2.
That's the toughest play for an outfielder. That ball that's pretty much directly over your head. It's just extremely difficult to judge it. Martin just couldn't get to it.
No, I thought he misjudged it, but that's not the case. He just couldn't get to it. Turned on it.
0-1 pitch.
And to catch that ball, Mac, you've got to be able to, for the most part, turn your back to the hitter and sprint to a spot. And it looked like he tried to do that. Ball just carried over his head. He couldn't get to it.
That's exactly. You just got to turn and go. And watching some of the best center fielders play, it always amazed me how they could just literally turn around, take their eye off of the ball, run to a spot, turn around, and there it was.
Yep.
Good fastball. 1-2 now the count to Seager.
Last night there was a ball similar to that. He was able to run it down, made a nice play right near the warning track. That one that Chavez hit just kept on carrying.
Grimm back to the plate. Breaking ball got him swinging. Well, there's that hook again. That is strikeout number 7 for Justin Grimm. 1 away.
There's only one team in the league that struck out more than the Mariners. That's the Astros. Coming into the game, they'd struck out 156 times. The Astros had struck out 166 times.
So Chavez still at second, 1 out now, and Kendrys Morales, the designated hitter, is at the plate. He has grounded out twice, both to the right side. And the breaking ball stays outside. Rangers with kind of a modified shift on. Ian Kinsler about halfway between first and second, but a good 25 feet into the outfield grass. You get a good idea. And Elvis Andrus playing right behind the bag as Grimm fires a strike. Pretty good hole at what would normally be shortstop. Again, with a man on second, Adrian Beltre can't cheat as far towards second as he would maybe like to. He's got to be able to get to third base in case Chavez takes off. 1-1 pitch, and that ball's in the dirt. Nice block by Giovanni Soto. the spray chart for Kendrys Morales. A lot of balls in the middle of the diamond.
It's kind of surprising to me. But you've got a power hitter that hits most of his balls up the middle of the field. Normally, you're going to see that to where, you know, he's going to tend to pull the majority of his hits.
Two and two the count. Grimm okays the sign. The right-hander's ready. Pop foul. That will reach the seats right over the Mariners dugout on the third base side. Grimm back to the plate. Fastball called strike three.
Slow curveball set up that fastball. He just couldn't pull the trigger on it. Every inning except the fourth inning, there's been men in scoring position. Justin's done a good job, for the most part, pitching around it. Just able to get out in front and foul off the curveball. And whoops. There it goes, right by me.
So 2 outs on back-to-back strikeouts. And now Michael Morse is up there. And Andy Chavez doing a little dancing around at second base. Justin Grimm decided to turn around and take a look. Morse, a ground out and a strikeout. Oh, a good sinking fastball in on his fist. 80 pitches for Grimm through 4 2/3. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And we're talking about 78 pitches last time out in Seattle that only got him through 3 innings. So this is a much better outing for Justin Grimm. Now he's going to get a visit from Giovanni Soto as he hung that curveball inside. And Morse is not the kind of guy you want to be messing around hanging breaking balls to him.
No, you don't want to hang anything to this guy. He can hit it a long way.
Grimm is ready. A check of second, the 1-1 pitch. There's a good breaking ball. It's 1-2.
That's where that breaking ball is supposed to be, not up in the eyes.
Yeah, it's a little tough for anybody to hit that one down there.
Now he could probably bounce this one here and have another swing just like that.
Crowd getting into the action. They want to see Justin Grimm of the Rangers get off the field right now. The 1-2 pitch is coming. Breaking ball got him swinging. Good call, Matt.
Thank you.
For the Mariners, a run on 2 hits, but Justin Grimm prevents any further damage. Halfway through the ball game, the Rangers 3, the Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers clinging to a 3-2 lead now as the Mariners struck for a run in the top of the 5th. Good job, though, by Justin Grimm at coming back and getting the next 3 outs. Very importantly, keeping that lead. And here's Leonis Martin, who got the Rangers on the board. His first major league home run in the 3rd inning. Shows bunt, and that's good. Mariners coming all over the place down toward home. 1 ball, no strikes. Remember last night, Leonis had a drag bunt that he popped up in the air and got it in a perfect spot between the mound and the second baseman. Pulls this one down the right field line. That's going to be in for extra base. Martin getting some speed on as he gets to second. He's going for 3. Here's the relay throw. The slide. He's safe. Leonis Martin with the 2 toughest legs of the cycle. A homer and now a triple.
He slid, looked back like he slid late into 3rd, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He came in a little bit too late, too hard.
And that's what happened. You slide late. He jammed his foot right into the bag. Sometimes you get lucky, your foot slides over the bag, but if it catches the front of the bag, that's what can happen. The Jose Reyes have a similar thing happen to him a couple of weeks ago.
Oh boy, hate to see that for a ball club that's already resembling a mesh unit.
And you know, you're talking about Justin Grimm showing a lot more confidence this time out in the mound and being aggressive. You start to watch Martin. See, he didn't know if he was going to slide or not. He was going to go in standing up. And you're just seeing Martin starting to play with some confidence now, getting a chance to play. Hit the ball out of the ballpark, and oh boy, that didn't look good at all.
No.
Now the good news is he's up walking around and bouncing around a little bit at the request of Ron Washington.
Boy, if he stays in the game, that's very nice. I didn't think the way he was sitting there that was going to be the case.
Kevin Harmon, the assistant trainer out there, taking his magic out to 3rd base and got Leonis back on the well list. So that's good to see.
Very good to see. I mean, the one thing you don't want to have happen, especially with a guy that can run, you don't want those limbs, those ankles and knees to get injured. But fortunately, his front foot went up and over the bag like you're talking about, Tag.
Yeah, it's kind of hit the bag and went over it.
Well, the Mariners now with Martin at 3rd and nobody out. Ian Kinsler at the plate, and the Mariners pulling their infield. Ian just in front of halfway. And Ian takes low for ball 1.
Take one more look at it. Up close. Yeah, looked like it did slide right over the top.
Breaking ball is outside, 2-0 to Kinsler. Ian has popped out this afternoon and been hit by a pitch. Team leader with 11 runs driven in. Has one more just 90 feet away. Towering pop foul. That will reach the seats on the 3rd base side, assuming it ever comes down. It did. 2-1. Got the foul ball and her phone was safe too. It was good. Harang working from the stretch with Martin at 3rd. And Kinsler fouls it off the other way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ian has really been good with runners in scoring position. It's 6 for 14 so far this year. And one of the things that's really sticking out about what Kinsler has done is his ability to take the ball to right and right center. This one a little looper into right field. That is falling in a hurry. It's going to be in for a base hit. Coming in to score is Leonis Martin. The throw back behind Kinsler. He is safe, but Ian with a bloop RBI single. It's now 4-2 Rangers.
Just great to see Leonis run in from third base, give some high fives in the dugout. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt as bad as it looked like might have been the case. And slices this little blooper, second little blooper the Rangers have shot out to right field today. One right before Mitch's home run, and this one to bring in a run.
Look, Kinsler with his 12th RBI of the year. He's now at first. Still nobody out. Here's Elvis, who is 1 for 2. Kinsler back standing at first. And Leonis going back to the clubhouse to get checked out more thoroughly. Kevin Harmon right there behind him, just to make sure. Kinsler with a pretty good lead. He's staying put, and Elvis takes a breaking ball that comes back to the inside corner. It's strike one. Elvis a single in the first inning. A line drive to right, then hit a harder line drive that carried out to the warning track that Morse was able to run down. A bunt shown there. He takes the pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Kelly Shopping. 1-1 the count. Well, that didn't take long. Leonis back on the bench, so apparently no damage done. Slow breaking ball, and that comes into the inside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. Harang a long look into Shopping. And a ground ball hit to Seager. He goes to second. They get 1. The return not in time as Elvis able to leg out the return throw at first. So now Elvis at first with 1 out. Lance Berkman coming up, and it's time for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana. All right, Dana, thank you. The Rangers will be out after this ball game, heading west, starting a 3-game series with the Angels tomorrow night. Lance Berkman has struck out both times he has faced Harang today, and he pulls the ball into right field, a base hit. Elvis around second. He will motor into third. And the Rangers now with runners at the corners and 1 out. Adrian Beltre coming up. Well, you may get Berkman down a couple of times in a ball game, but he's bound to get you. But he's getting 3 or 4 times in one game.
No, he's going to get you, and he likes Harang. He's got 15 career home runs off of Harang. I don't know how you can hit 15 home runs off of one guy.
Make sure he gets from the airport to the ballpark. Okay.
To the car for
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm going to call Willis out there to talk to his veteran battery. And Lance Berkman talking with Justin Smoke over there at first base. Well, Berkman has had 1 for 3 in each of the 3 games so far in this series. And conference now concluded, and Adrian Beltre will get a shot at doing some more damage here in the Ranger 5th inning. Adrian, a fly ball to deep center in the first. He grounded out to short in the 4th. Andrus at third, Berkman at first. One ball and no strikes. Shopping standing up, going out in front of home plate to relay the defensive signals, what they're going to do if The runner from first goes. Elvis, of course, over there at third with excellent speed. Orang with a 1-0. Threw him a breaking ball, and Adrian was swinging fastball. Didn't quite get it. Great crowd on hand on this Sunday afternoon. Upwards of 44,000, maybe a few more. Great day, just a few puffy white clouds drifting over. And Beltre pops it up on the infield, and the second baseman Ackley makes the grab. 2 away now, and David Murphy will come to the plate. Well, Murph steps up, having gone 0 for 2 this afternoon. Strikeout and a foul out. .177 the average as he waits at the plate for the first pitch. Had a good rip at that fastball and fouled it back. Well, David has seen 3 different pitches on the first pitch each time up, and he guessed right that time. I think he'd like to have a mulligan there. The Mariners pulled around to the right side on the infield. Outfield was shading Murphy the other way. Now time called. Angel Hernandez coming out from behind home plate very quickly. So time. Now we're back ready to go. And Murphy takes high. 1 ball, 1 strike. David has hit safely in 10 of the last 13 games that he has played against Seattle. Orang, a check of the runners. And that pitch slipping out of his hand. 2 balls and a strike.
Hopefully Murph can continue swinging the bat well. The Rangers need some more offense. You know, the offense still, really hasn't kicked in. They're in a great position in the standings right now. It's still early, but you still rather be towards the top than the bottom. And doing all this with pitching and not a whole lot of offense yet.
That's outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Is it time to be concerned yet about that, or is it just a work in progress that will turn around here shortly?
I think it's a work in progress. It's way too early. A couple of weeks going on week 3. It's just not a lot of time.
And ball 4. That'll load him up and put Nelly Cruz at the plate. That is the first free pass issued by Orang here this afternoon. And Carl Willis, Mariners pitching coach, making a call down to the bullpen. Nelly Cruz to the plate. Cruz hit a little squibber over Justin Smoke's head for a single in the 4th inning. Came around to score on Mitch Moreland's home run. So Nelly is 1 for 2 today. Bases full of Rangers. And that breaking ball is out of the zone. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Blake Bevan, Irving product, getting loose in a hurry in the Mariner bullpen. 1-0 pitch, way outside. It's 2-0.
Orang's only pitched 9 or 10 innings as a Mariner. That was the first walk that he'd had, the walk to David Murphy. And he's got to be careful right here to Nelly, down 2-0. He's got to throw a strike.
Pitch on the way. Swung on and Beltre. High and deep. There she goes. Grand slam, Nelson Cruz. 8-2 Rangers.
Situation, situation, 2-0 count. You know the pitcher needs to throw you a strike. That's the pitch you hope to get, and that's the swing you should put on it when you get that pitch. That ball was gone the minute he made contact with it, like the one Mitch Moreland did out there as well.
Nelson Cruz, a grand slam, and the Rangers have broken it open. 8-2 Texas, and there's another 5-run inning. Boy, that thing coming in there screaming, hit me, and Nelly obliged.
I think Harang knew just as soon as he threw it.
Rip and a miss by Mitch. That's not good when you see the pitcher throw a ball and put his glove up to get the next ball back from the umpire.
It's usually a bad sign.
Yeah. 431 feet to keep us center field. Mitch fouling off that pitch, and the count remains 0-2. Ice Cream Sunday out here, and it's also Nelly Cruz Slam Day. 5th career grand slam. 0-2 pitch. I think for Nelly, all 5 career grand slams have been in this ballpark. And Mitch gave a 422-foot ride to one his last time up. Fouls back that one, and the count remains 1-2. You don't normally get the silent treatment after you hit a grand slam, do you?
Well, me, I have no idea.
Well, okay. You don't normally give the silent treatment after a grand slam.
It depends on who it is. If it's a young guy, we're going to get him.
Up the middle, Ryan boots it and has no play. Wouldn't have been a very easy play for Ryan, but as good a shortstop as he is, you would expect him to make that play most of the time. We'll see how it's scored.
Yeah,
he an error.
You could give him an error. He's got surprisingly strong arm strength from throwing down under that sidearm throw. So if he caught that ball, he was going to be able to make that kind of a throw. And from where he was, he probably had plenty of arm strength to make that play.
And Giovanni Soto goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Soto, the 9th man to come to the plate here in the Ranger 5th inning. Oddly enough, the 2 errors that Brendan Ryan had made this year have come against the Rangers. First one in Seattle in the first game of that series. We were a little bit amazed at that time that he made an error. And then the one here today.
Mac, the other night you had about a 10-minute inning. It was like 1, 2, 3. You were in, you were out. Today, boy, you're making the most of it today.
I needed to get some runs today. I've been kind of dry.
Good breaking ball. It's 1-2. Well, this is the most the Rangers have scored this year in one game. 8 of them. That's good.
Things are heating up with the weather.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. Jet swing, and the count is even. Soto today has struck out both times. Guys are up on the rail, not sitting with Cruz. Cruz staying in the background. High, and it's 3-2. Well, if Giovanni's able to continue this inning, Leonis Martin would be up for the 2nd time.
Well, he's moving around pretty good, so that's great to see. The way he slid into 3rd, it might be a problem.
Pitches outside, ball 4. And 2 aboard, and that will probably be it. Yeah, here comes the skipper. And that's going to do it for Aaron Harang. Now, Harang could not get out of the 5th inning. He will leave with a couple of runners on base. Nelly Cruz did the damage to the big right-hander. That grand slam broke this inning and this game open. We'll be right back as the pitching changes are being made on Fox Sports Southwest. Reverse replay, and it features the man you just saw. That would be Leonis Martin. First time up. Got the Rangers on the board. A 378-foot line drive home run. His first major league home run. And then next time up, he led off the 5th inning with a triple and a hard slide into third. And fortunately, he's okay. That is quite a day for the young man, and he's still got some more work to do. He will face the Irving High School product. That's Blake Bevan.
Well, Bevan had a couple of starts earlier in the year. They didn't go well. So he was demoted to the bullpen, where he's trying to work himself back into the rotation. He was in the rotation last year, 2012. And he's pitched a couple of good games against the Rangers. And now he's got his work cut out for him, trying to come back out of the bullpen and get back into the rotation. Charlie Pride sitting down there with Nolan. Charlie, of course, is one of the Ranger owners.
No doubt those two enjoying what's going on here today. Jim Sundberg doing his narration. I'm sure that Charlie, yeah, he is. So here's Leonis.
For someone that's sang in front of 1 million people before, he's pretty thrilled to be on TV.
2 on and 2 out. Evan with the breaking ball gets behind, 1 ball, no strikes.
Charlie, of course, has gone to spring training and worked out with the club. Boy, since the early 70s, as long as I've been here, he's been going to spring training. Came to spring training when Billy Martin was our manager and talked Billy into letting him play in a spring training game. And Jim Palmer was pitching for the Orioles, and Jim came by the batting cage. Charlie was taking batting practice and said to him, "I'm not going to throw you any breaking balls today, but I'm going to give you my best fastball." And Charlie said, "You can throw me anything you want." The first time up, he hit a hard ground ball. The second time up, he got a base hit up the middle. He went 1 for 2 off Jim Palmer in a spring training game. That was back probably 1974, maybe 3-4, right around in there. And he's been going every year since then, and at least once every time he's there, he puts on a little impromptu concert for all the players in the clubhouse, and a lot of the guys on the visiting team will come by to listen to it as well. A couple of times over in Pompano Beach, Charlie would have his concert going on with all the Ranger players in the clubhouse listening, and you look out on the field, and the other team would have half their players in there listening to him too, and not much going on in the way of practice. But yeah, he was a minor league base. He was a professional baseball player before he became a singer. Or I guess while he was becoming a singer.
Two balls and one strike to Leonis Martin. Blake Bevan back to the plate. Martin a rip and a miss. And it's 2-2. Martin scoring a pair of runs today. Of course, with the home run and his first RBI of the season. Mitch Moreland, the runner at second. Giovanni Soto at first. 2-2, and that pitch is low and outside. So with 2 outs and the count full, both runners will be off and moving with the next pitch. If Leonis keeps this inning going, Ian Kinsler is waiting in the on-deck circle. Nelson Cruz wondering, well, maybe I'll get another at bat this inning. Keep this thing going. Bevan a long look in as Shopping going through the series of signs. Martin now backing out just a little bit. Now everybody's ready. Runners on the move. Payoff pitch. Popped up into left field. Ryan going out. Seager backpedaling. It'll be the third baseman, Seager, making the catch. That'll do it. But the Rangers score 5 runs. They strand a couple. The big blow, Nelly Cruz. Grand slam home run. On to the 6th we go. 8-2 Texas. Is brought to you by the all-new Mazda 6. When you change everything, you change everything. Well, the Rangers came into this game, or into the series, I should say, struggling a bit offensively, and Nelly Cruz and company have made sure that that struggle did not last. They were able to score 7 runs in the opener of this 3-game series. They scored 5 runs here this afternoon in just the 5th inning. They lead 8-2, and Justin Grimm back out to the mound, dealing to Justin Smoke. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. Smoke has struck out both times that he has faced Grimm here this afternoon. Grimm with a career high 9 strikeouts through the first 5 innings. Blowing outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Really important, I think, for the Rangers as a team is to get Justin Grimm going for the next couple of innings and not have to get into that bullpen. Here's a fastball strike. 4 pitchers out of the bullpen had to be used last night after Nick Tepesch left being hit on that right wrist with the line drive. So the bullpen a little bit thin down there for today.
And you always feel a little bit exposed as a manager when your long man is not available, and you'd have to say Derek Lowe is the Ranger long man. And he pitched 3 or 4 days ago in Chicago a couple of innings, and then again last night. So he's definitely, well, I won't say definitely, but he's probably not available.
That ball hit well going the other way. Smoke. Murphy backing up. And David runs it down right at the edge of the warning track. That is out number 1. And let's go to Jim Knox again. Jim.
All right, Buzz, real quick. Texas Rangers would like to say thank you to all the Texas Rangers fans out there that donated a great deal to the fine folks at West Texas. You know, this weekend, Rangers asked for donations to help the folks out in West Texas, and they came through in a big way. Next week, Fox Sports Southwest and the Texas Rangers are teaming up together. They'll bring the Fox Sports Southwest bus down to West Texas and deliver all those donations. So, Ranger fans, again, thank you for all that you did this week. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you.
You know, Buzz, we just got a couple of packages from the Anderson family. They're from West Texas, and for people that have been following the news, you've probably seen pictures of their family, especially 9-year-old Caden, who was a young man who suffered extensive injuries in that tragedy. And they sent us a huge box of goodies from Garrick's Old Czech Stop Bakery in West, and we want to thank them for that very much. Looks like Elvis is going to corral this. The note on the package was, thank you for all your support. We're truly blessed to be here. And that was from the Anderson family. And that's in response to the support that they've received from the Rangers and all of our fans. And so from the Rangers to the Anderson family, thank you for that. And we certainly hope you and Caden are getting along fine.
Well, that's really that. Very
We're the ones should be sending them things.
Exactly. Exactly. Ackley, a line drive single to center. So with 2 outs, Ackley gets aboard, and that'll bring up Jason Bay. Imagine being sensitive enough to have all the tragedy down there and take the time to thank us, for Pete's sake.
That's pretty nice.
Wow. Thank you.
You know, it's always terrible to see people that are involved in those kind of tragedies. It's just even worse when you see kids.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And we hope Caden's doing well.
Jason Bay takes inside for ball 1. Bay a walk and a strikeout today. Struck out his last time up. That was in the 4th inning. Ackley at first. And Grimm ready for the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Grimm approaching 90 pitches, or he just went over 90 pitches, I should say. He's in 93 right now, and Ron Washington going to make a trip out there. It's not because there's somebody in the bullpen. Ron Washington had something he wanted to say, and it has to do, I'm sure, with we need for you to get through at least this inning, and you need to get through this inning for you. Michael Kirkman loosening in the Ranger bullpen. And Ron Washington taking that message out there himself.
Well, you'd like to get a quick out, make it 94 pitches, and then come out and have a nice 7th inning as well if you can.
Sure would.
That'd be super.
A 2-0 the count to Bay. And the pitch is low. It is 3 balls and no strikes. Bay hitting in the number 8 slot. Will be followed by the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Grimm a check of first. 3-0 pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Well, Tampa Bay looks like is going to beat Oakland. They're ahead 8-1. The Rangers finish this game off and are able to win it. They'll sneak a half a game ahead of Oakland. Oakland, if they lose that game, will have been swept by Tampa Bay. And it is a final, 8-1 final.
In the air, left center field, Murphy and Leonis Martin converging. It'll be Martin making the call on the catch. And Ron Washington works his magic again with an answer to the message by Justin Grimm. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Rangers 8, Mariners 2, Fox Sports Southwest. The Sonic Slam inning brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $1,500 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Today, the Rangers are hitting for Jesse Schrum from Denison. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, Jesse Schrum from Denison will win $25,000. You can register to win at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, we've had a grand slam today already. Nelson Cruz in the 5th inning. I'm not trying to make Jesse Schrum feel badly about it, but timing is everything.
Well, you probably did. You weren't trying to, but it wouldn't be the first time there was 2 hit in the same game.
That's true. Ian Kinsler, the top of the order, to face Blake Bevan.
Fernando Tatis hit 2 in 1 inning off the same pitcher.
He did.
Try to beat that.
Chan-Ho Park, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pretty amazing to hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning, but it's unbelievable that the same pitcher could still be in the game.
Yeah. 0-1 pitch. And Ian, it's a high fly ball to left. This one playable. Jason Bay coming on as the wind pushes it back toward the infield a bit. And that is out number 1. Kinsler flies out. Now Elvis Andrus.
Rangers came into the game 11-6. The A's were 12-6. They're 12-7 now. A's are actually now a game under 500 against all teams except the Astros.
Elvis 1 for 3 with a run scored. Bevan's first pitch. Tried the breaking ball and it drifted outside for ball 1. Elvis with that average right at the Mendoza line at the moment. An even 200. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rangers 8 runs on 8 hits. They committed 1 error. The Mariners 2 runs on 6 hits. They've also committed an error. Elvis into right center field. Chavez coming on. Indy gets there to make the grab. That's out number 2. So with the bases empty, Bevan will now work to Lance Berkman. Berkman, a base hit his last time up. He is 1 for 3 this afternoon. That batting average at .378. Last came around to score in that 5-run Ranger 5th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Bevan into the wind. And the tall right-hander deals outside 2-0. Bevan, as Tom told you, started the year in the starting rotation, but had some problems, especially with the home run. Giving up home runs, and the whole staff had. Bevan coming off a year last year that saw him go 11 and 11. And that pitch is high. It's 3 balls and no strikes. As he went over to Seattle from the Rangers 2010 in the deal that brought Cliff Lee into a Ranger uniform. 3-0 pitch. That is a strike. Bevan, originally the Rangers' first-round draft pick in 2007, the 17th overall pick of that year's draft. 3-1 to Berkman. That's outside, ball 4. And Lance is aboard for the 2nd time today. Well, folks, starting tomorrow on National Geographic Channel, a new series called Brain Games. And that will truly put your brain to the test. It's Brain Games, premiering tomorrow on the National Geographic Channel. Adrian Beltre, 0 for 3. Fly ball, ground out, pop out. And he belts one deep to left field. That one is way back. Goodbye. And we have a winner on our Sonic Slam inning. Jesse Schrum from Denison. $1,500 courtesy of Adrian Beltre. Congratulations to both of you.
Well, this is more like the Ranger offense that we've been accustomed to over the years. 3 home runs, a 2-run shot for Adrian, a 2-run shot for Mitch, a grand slam for Nelly.
Beltre with his 3rd home run of the year. 8 RBI. And here's David Murphy taking outside for ball 1. That fastball didn't quite get in there. Adrian more or less saying no, not this time. Murph 0 for 2 with a walk, and he takes outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. 372 feet. On that blast by Beltre. Well, the Rangers have scored at least 1 run in each of the last 4 innings. And in 3 of those 4, they've put up a crooked number. Oh, Murphy ripping a foul ball. 2-1. The obligatory pat on the coconut.
Elvis has to take the hat off and be the first to touch the head.
3-1 now to Murph. Shop it, flashing out the signs. Bevan to the wind. And Murphy a rip and a miss. The count is full. Well, the Mariner pitching staff now has given up 28 home runs this year. And Murphy a drive to right field. That's not quite high enough, but Morse able to make the catch. Murphy hit it right on the nose, but comes up empty. The Rangers scored 2 more times on Beltre's 2-run blast. We're going to the 7th inning. Rangers 10, Mariners 2. Few innings, 10 runs in the last 4 innings against the Mariners. They lead 10-2. Ranger 4 home runs. Martin, Moreland, Cruz, and Beltre in your Ford summary. Justin Grimm will finish the day with a career high 9 strikeouts and 6 innings of work. And he is replaced by Michael Kirkman.
Yeah, that was an outstanding job by Justin today. Pitched out of some jams. Had a great curveball today, but he also had a good sinking fastball, threw some sliders. Worked confidently, quickly, aggressively. Did a nice job.
Michael Kirkman on for his 8th appearance. He'll be asked to, I would imagine, throw a couple of innings here this afternoon, if at all possible. He'll start by facing Brendan Ryan, who is 1 for 2 this afternoon. And a strike comes back to the inside corner. Good tailing fastball. Ryan singled and scores. He led off the 5th inning with that base hit to center, snapping an 0 for 16 when he was mired in. One ball, one strike. Kirkman back to the plate. And a rip and a miss. Pretty good breaking ball. 1-2 to Ryan. The Rangers 10 runs on 9 hits this afternoon. The Mariners 2 runs on 6 hits. Rangers with 4 home runs. They have now 19, make that 22 on the season. The Ford leaderboard will show you the ERA leaders for bullpens in the major leagues. The Atlanta Braves with 109 earned run average. The Rangers under 2 at 190. They are the second best in the American League. The White Sox at 163. Ryan to center field. Leonis Martin shading him toward right center, just backpedals. That is out number 1. Now here's the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game, and it has to do with the Rangers starter Justin Grimm. And he had some freakishly good hooks and fastballs going today. The Mariners all over the place. Just one earned run in 6 innings of work. Good job by Justin Grimm. Here's Andy Chavez for his 3rd at bat, and with the first fastball right near his belt buckle. Jackknife out of the way of that one. It is 1 ball and no strikes. Andy, a double and a run scored today. He's also driven in a run in the 5th inning. Kirkman ready. The 1-0 pitch. Backs him off with a breaking ball that comes into the strike zone. It's 1-1. Andy Chavez was in spring training with Kansas City. They released him toward the end of spring. He signed a minor league deal with the Mariners. A little loop right into right field. Kinsler going out, reaches up, and Ian hauls it in. That's out number 2. Injuries to Michael Saunders created a need for Chavez at the major league level almost immediately. So he is with the Mariners. 2 outs, bases empty. Let's say hello to Emily Jones again, Em.
Well, Buzz, you guys just talking about the success of the bullpen. Despite a rough start, Derek Lowe filling in quite nicely in his long man role out of the pen.
It's been a crazy schedule, 7 or 8 games on the road, a little quick 3-game homestand. So we're going to try to, take care of business, go out tomorrow and play like we always have. And but it's nice to, partake in a game and pitch the way you feel like you should.
And he went on to say that he, wondered what his role would be coming into spring training. Happy to have gotten the opportunity with the Rangers. Obviously, as I mentioned, got off to that rough start, but really his last couple times out have been stellar, and he was really the story in last night's game. 31 pitches in 4 innings of work. And really the bullpen guys, probably maybe the biggest surprise so far on this team for you?
Well, he has certainly been a very pleasant surprise. Joe Ortiz is right there with Derek Lowe.
Yeah, I think that, with the questions, I guess you had to say, even though they're talented, were with the young relievers, Joe Ortiz, Michael Kirkman, Robbie Ross, Tanner Scheppers. A lot was asked of them. They got their feet wet last year, but they weren't just going to pitch in mop-up roles this year. They were the guys that Ron Washington was going to count on out of the bullpen. And so 3 weeks into the season, I think you have to be very happy with the way the young relievers have pitched. And you can't say it's a surprise, I guess, because they're very talented. But you certainly had to have some question marks coming in. How would they perform right off the bat? They've done great.
Three balls, one strike to count. And Kirkman misses high. And Kyle Seager draws the 2-out walk. So Seager's been aboard 3 times this afternoon. 2 hits and now a walk. He is 2 for 3. And Kendrys Morales will come to the plate. He'll turn around and bat from the right side against the lefty Kirkman. Morales had a real tough time against Justin Grimm this afternoon. He struck out, grounded out twice to the right side. Grimm just worked him over pretty well. Now Kirkman goes to work with a fastball for strike 1. Morales hitting at .242 as he stands at the plate here in inning number 7. Good breaking ball from Kirkman, gets the inside corner. 0-2 to Morales. Here's the breakdown, right-handed, left-handed for Morales. Got him swinging. Well, the right-handed portion will go down a bit, and he has gone on strikes. Kirkman strands the walker. 7th inning stretch time. Rangers 10, Mariners 2. And now let's join Chuck Morgan as he introduces God Bless America.
Armed services both at home and around the world. Today we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Chief Warrant Officer Darby Ledbetter of the Texas Army National Guard.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
in the Park. That's coming up Thursday, May 2nd. Rangers will host the Chicago White Sox that night at 7:05 game. Special tickets are available in designated areas so you can bring your dog to the game, but advanced registration is required. For complete details and to register, go to TexasRangers.com/barkinthepark. Rangers leading 10-2 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. It will be Nelson Cruz to lead things off against Blake Bevan. Cruz, of course, the grand slam his last time up, and Bevan starts him off with a breaking ball for strike one. Nelly 2 for 3 today. He also singled and scored. Now 10 RBI for the slugging right fielder for the Rangers. Bevan back to the plate. 0-2. Grand slam for Cruz, his 5th in his career, came off Aaron Harang in that 5-run 5th inning for Texas. Oh, 0-2 pitch. And here is the grand slam we were talking about. That was way up there, just next to Greens Hill. About 3/4 of the way up the seats. One ball and 2 strikes. For the season now, Cruz with the 3 home runs. Bevan to the wind and the 1-2. It's a little bit low to even the count. Cruz waiting as Bevan studies the signs. Hard hit ground ball, but Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, flings one sidearm, and Cruz is retired after a pretty good battle with Bevan. 1 out for Mitch Moreland. It's time for a Mazda game break. Let's go back over to Dana Larson. Dana.
Not the first time Prince Fielder's taken CJ deep. Remember the All-Star game?
Sure do, in Arizona.
Yep. CJ threw like 57 pitches today in the first 2 innings. 95 pitches through 5.
I think Mike Scioscia looked disgusted a few times watching from his perch.
Well, 57 pitches in 2 innings. That's a lot.
Yep, sure is.
For a veteran guy. Or anybody for that matter.
Mitch Moreland sends a towering fly ball to right field. Morrison started back, now comes on and waits for it to come down out of the powder blue sky above. That is out number 2, and it will bring up Giovanni Soto.
What's the most pitches you ever threw in a game? I know they weren't keeping track.
Yeah.
Could you even
I
guess?
know I threw. We went back. Yeah, I threw 197 or something like that.
197.
In 12 innings against the Angels.
Jeez.
But that was unusual. Apparently, there are a lot of guys that threw a lot more than that on a regular basis. 150, 160 pitches on a pretty regular basis.
Well, you have to think Nolan was averaging about 150 pitches. You strike out 300 guys, had some walks to go along with it.
Yeah,
and he's not pitching 5 or 6 innings. You guys were pretty much going 9 innings every time you went out there.
0-1 pitch to Soto. Rip and a miss.
Wasn't that uncommon for a pitcher to pitch into extra innings?
No.
A starting pitcher. Now you very rarely see it.
Yeah, it was fairly common. 10, 11, 12, 13 innings. Breaking ball just outside. That game Harvey Haddock's had 12 perfect innings, and he lost it in the 13th.
Yeah.
Bevan with a 1-2 pitch coming to Soto. The count evens. Giovanni this afternoon has walked and struck out a couple of times. So in his 4th start of the year, he's been aboard 1 out of 3 times. Seager, the third baseman, down to a knee, and that will do it for the Rangers. They're retired in order in the 7th, and after 7 complete, it remains the Rangers 10 and the Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Texas in control of this one, and Buzz and Tom, you guys were talking about high pitch counts in games. I sit relatively close to the guy you were talking about, Nolan Ryan. I asked him what the highest pitch count he had in a game. He said between 238 and 242 when he was with the Angels in a game against the Red Sox. I did double check to make sure he understood the question correctly, and he verified between 238 and 242 against the Red Sox when he was with the Angels, a 14-inning game.
Wow. Yeah, that's not surprising. It really isn't. And not surprising that he would do it.
It's headlines if your pitcher throws 130 pitches nowadays.
Yeah, you get run out of baseball. Say, oh, how can you do that?
I think Johan Santana pitched that perfect game. What did he throw? 130, 140 pitches, or something around there to throw his perfect game, and that's what caused his arm problems. 130 pitches caused arm problems 30, 40 years ago. There wouldn't have been a starting pitcher left in Major League Baseball. Everybody was doing that. If they could pitch well enough to stay in the game that long.
Michael Morse leading things off here in the 8th inning, and he's ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes as Kirkman comes back, gets the foul ball. Defensive changes as Jeff Baker's come into the ball game and he's taken over at third base for Adrian Beltre, and Uri Garcia has come into the game and taken over for Elvis Andrus at short. And they are hitting in the appropriate spots. Changes are straight up. So Garcia hitting second and Baker hitting cleanup. The 2-1 pitch. And that's low and inside to Morse. Michael Morse this afternoon has struck out twice and grounded out to the right side. Batting average for Morse continuing to dive ever since he had that broken pinky on his right hand. He has really struggled with the bat. 3-1 pitch. That's hit pretty well to right center field. Going back is Leonis Martin up against the padding, and he can't hang on to it. He had it in his glove and then banged into the wall, and the ball popped loose. And Morris is going to be at second base. I would imagine they'd score that or double.
Yeah, it looked like that he did the hardest part, which was get to the ball. Looked like he knew where the wall was. He's got a pretty good idea where the ball is. Just goes up and didn't catch it. Concentration is fine. Puts the glove up. Just hit off the side of his glove.
And it will be a double. That difficult play. One I would imagine that Leonis Martin would tell you he probably will make more often than not. Just didn't quite get it done that time. Here's Justin Smoke, and the pitch is on the inside corner to it. Smoke, a pair of strikeouts and a line drive to left field today. Kirkman facing the switch hitting first baseman. And he pops it up behind home plate. Soto coming back, may have a play right at the screen and makes the catch. Not nearly as much room, a couple of feet less room than there used to be behind home plate with the new seats put in. And just enough for that to get stay in the yard. So one out. And while we have a second here, let's take a look at the results from our AT Twitter poll today. Remember, we asked you your favorite baseball movie. 25% said Field of Dreams. Yeah, that's good. And 23% said Major League. 22% Bull Durham. 20% The Natural. And 10% went with League of Their Own.
I'd go with Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I would too.
That was my number one.
Either that or for me, Bull Durham. I thought that was.
They were all good. I'd watch all of them again.
Kelly Shopping has a double in 3 trips today. Kirkman and check of Morse at second. And the fastball is low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Morse, after the leadoff double, he's there 1 out later at second base. Michael Kirkman trying to keep him anchored right there. 2-0 pitch. That's low and inside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Shopping and Kirkman have never faced each other in regular season play. Ranger left-hander with a 3-0 pitch, and that is outside, ball 4. A 1-out walk puts runners at first and second for Dustin Ackley. And Mike Maddox is going to go out and it's walking a guy with first base open like that when you have a left-hander coming up. That's great strategy when it's a 2-1 game. Not when it's 10-2.
No, they're looking for Michael to be aggressive in the strike zone and pitch multiple innings today. If not 3, definitely 2.
And let's go over and say hello to Jim Knox again. Jim.
All right, Buzz, real quick time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Danny, longtime season ticket holder. He tried something new this year, the Adrian Beltre big-time head right here. It worked. He got the home run in the 6th inning. What happens every time Adrian does something good?
We rub his head. This is safer than the actual thing, so if you see us out here, feel free to come rub his head.
There we go. Well, here's the bag. Way to go, Danny. Keep up the good work out here, buddy. Appreciate it, Buzz.
Safer than the real thing. that Beltre doesn't punch back.
0-1 the count to Ackley. The breaking ball from Kirkman, that just off the outside corner, and Giovanni Soto going out to have another brief word with Kirkman.
Well, Michael's thrown 29 pitches, only 14 of them for strikes, 15 of them for balls. They're looking for, obviously, and so is Michael, better command than that, especially in this kind of a game. Outcome is not the issue. The amount of pitches the bullpen has thrown recently is the issue.
Another breaking ball, and that's low. It's 2-1. Ackley this afternoon has had a sacrifice bunt, a pop out, and a single. So 1 for 2 officially. Got teammates at first and second. Fouls that fastball back, and it's 2-2. Kirkman worked a 7th inning, giving up just a walk. He started the 8th inning by giving up a double to Morse to right center field, and then 1 out later, a walk. So runners at first and second. 2-2, the count to Dustin Ackley. Went around on that high hook, and a strikeout is in the books for Dustin Ackley. 2 gone. There's that hanger that's too high.
Yeah, you see the breaking ball. You see the spin on it. You know that he's got a good breaking ball. A lot of them have been down, and you kind of react to get ready to swing, but it never breaks down like you expect it to. You've started your swing, and then it's too late, and there's not much you can do about it.
Jason Bay, the hitter. There's a good breaking ball for strike 1. Bay is 0 for 2 officially. He struck out and flied out. He's also walked. That walk, as you see, back in the 2nd inning. Mariners have gotten 3 walks today. Kelly Shopik, the latest. He's at first, and Michael Morse in second. Garcia, the short way to Kinsler, and that will do it. So, good job by Kirkman coming back and throwing some strikes. Strands 2 on a hit and a walk. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Rangers 10, the Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Game right now in the bottom of the 8th. We will wrap it all up when it is over. Please join us for Rangers Live, presented by Esurance, coming up here in just a little bit. We will have Ron Washington's post-game comments, reaction from the clubhouse with Emily Jones, the numbers to show you just how dominating this series has been so far for the Rangers, and of course Mark McLemore's great perspective and analysis. That is all coming up in just a little bit. Buzz.
All right, Dana, thank you. 10-2, the score right now, and Leonis Martin will have his 4th at-bat of the afternoon to start things off in the Ranger 8th inning. Leonis, a solo home run, his first at the major league level. That was in the 3rd inning. And he tripled and scored to start off that 5th inning, in which the Rangers plated 5 runs, blew this game open. Devin goes after him with a fastball that's fouled back. It is 0-1. Well, Martin, by going 2 for 3, has raised his batting average to .250. Bevan's next pitch. Good breaking ball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2. Martin making his 10th start of the year today in center field. He's been a busy guy, not only on the base paths with the bat. He's been busy in the outfield too. Run down a couple of balls and has been forced to go to the warning track on several occasions. 2-2 now as that fastball misses high. Bevan into the wind. And the count has gone full. Well, Martin trying to start things off by getting aboard. Ian Kinsler waiting in that on-deck circle will be next. Payoff pitch on the way. Got him swinging. Well, Bevan records his first strikeout of the afternoon, 1 away, and here comes Kinsler.
Look, a pretty good pitch to hit. I think Leonis is surprised he didn't hit it.
Yeah. Kinsler steps in 1 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also had an RBI single. That back in that 5th inning, and Kinsler now with 12 runs driven in. Takes the big breaking ball from Bevan. It is strike 1. Ian has now hit safely in 6 of his last 8 ball games. About a 320 clip. A ball and a strike. You see the season numbers overall and what Ian has done today. He's also reached base safely in 15 of 17 games in which he's appeared this year. Hits this one hard. It's off the glove of Seager. Ryan tries to barehand it but can't come up with it. And Kinsler will be aboard with no doubt his second base hit of the afternoon. It is an infield single. And the Rangers now have double digits in hits with 10.
That would have been some kind of play if Ryan was able to barehand and make this play. Nice try by Seager and desperation try by Ryan. Right off the side of his glove. That was a smash, one hop smash. Looked in his glove just to see if it was in there. Hit the glove pretty hard. Seager does a nice job over at third base.
Yes,
Almost made that play.
Here's Leonis Garcia for his first at bat of the afternoon. Took over defensively last half inning for Elvis Andrus. And the switch hitter up there from the left side takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Garcia appeared in yesterday's ball game as a pinch runner. 250 the average overall. He's been on base a third of the time. Check swing on that breaking ball just in case it was going to come in the back door. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia started the last 2 games of the series in Seattle against these Mariners. Hits this one well to left center field. Bay is going back, fighting the sun a little bit, and makes the catch just shy of the warning track.
Now, we were talking about Leuri in the couple of games that he started. Saw him hit a triple to right center field off the wall. Gave that pretty good shot all the way to the warning track in left center field. Well, he's a guy that he continues to get older and stronger. Just a kid. He's going to be able to drive the ball in the gap for a lot of doubles. Probably a surprising amount of home runs too, the way, at least based on what we've seen so far.
Two away now for Lance Berkman. Berkman has been aboard twice today, single and a walk. He's scored both times. He's got Kinsler at first, and Bevan starts him off with a slow breaking ball that hangs a little bit high and out of the zone for ball one.
Leory's not your typical utility guy. Most utility players are guys that are older, upper 20s, early 30s, guys that maybe have played on a regular basis before, but for the most part, a lot of utility infielders have always been utility infielders. He's a young prospect in his early 20s who, as time goes on, if he stays in this role, that's one thing, but he could easily develop into an everyday player at a middle infield position. He's got a lot of physical tools and a lot of talent.
And he's played enough outfield to know that that's a possibility too. One of the things that the Rangers liked about him, that Ron Washington liked about his versatility, was that outfield aspect of it.
It's not an easy role for a young kid who's used to playing every day, wants to play every day. Obviously, he's very happy to be in the big leagues, and he accepts his role. But as time goes on, depending on the opportunity, he could definitely develop into an everyday player.
2 balls, 1 strike the count to Lance Berkman. Bevan back to the plate. And Berkman a wave and a miss on the off-speed pitch. Bevan on since the 5th inning. Giving up 2 runs thus far. That on the Adrian Beltre 2-run home run in the 6th inning. First time that Berkman faced Bevan this afternoon, he walked. 2-2 pitch, low and inside. The count has gone full. Berkman trying to grind out the at-bat, as he always does. Kinsler not being held on at first. He will be moving with this next offering. Kinsler on the move, payoff pitch. Got Berkman on the fist, and Lance fought it off foul. Now he in the U-turn at second base and back to first. Crowd of 44,599 on hand here this afternoon. Rangers averaging right at 38,000 for the first 2 homestands. Again, the 3-2. It's high ball 4. And Berkman draws another walk. He has been on 3 times this afternoon. And that'll give Jeff Baker an opportunity to bat here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Lance came into the game with an on-base percentage of .500. And it's gone up a little bit since that time. Came in with 10 walks. 2 more walks today. He's walked 12 times. Missed several games, so that's almost a walk per game on average.
Here's Baker, a .308 hitter. Going after what he was hoping was a fastball. He didn't get it on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Baker a home run and 2 driven in. Here's your classic utility guy. Jeff Baker's been around and knows how to prepare himself, how to keep himself sharp.
I think the perfect utility guy is a guy like Jeff, who accepts his role, excels at it,
and gets a base hit for you when you need it. Kinsler around third, he will score. And Jeff Baker with an RBI single. It's the 11-2 Rangers.
The other thing about Jeff is if someone gets hurt, and you have to play him every day for 3 weeks or longer, then you're happy with him. You know, he's the kind of guy that you feel good about. There's a lot of utility guys where if you have to play him for several weeks, he gets overexposed, and you're always looking for who you can pick up to replace him. But Ranger utility players aren't the kind of utility players. They're the kind of guys that you're happy to have. One of them is either Gentry or Martin. And the other is Giovanni Soto. And you're happy with any of those guys in the lineup.
Still first and second, a run across here in the 8th inning. David Murphy, a rip and a miss. It is 0-1. Murphy is only a bat against Bevan this afternoon, lined to right field. And a rocket out there that Morse was able to corral. David 0 for 3 on the afternoon, having walked and scored in the 5th. And that breaking ball settles just a bit low. It's 1-1. Bevan a check of Berkman at second. And the foul ball makes it a ball and 2 strikes to David Murphy. All the starters today for the Rangers have reached base either by a hit or a walk today. Rangers have 11 hits, but also had walks that figured into the bigger innings. Outside, 2-2. RBIs today, Nelly Cruz with 4 of them, Moreland with a couple, Beltre with a couple, Baker with 1 here in this inning, and Ian Kinsler with 1. Murphy again fouling it back. And Leonis Martin with his first home run at the major league level and his first RBI also. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. Bevan comes set. And misses just a little bit low. The count has gone full. Bevan getting ready to throw his 64th pitch of the afternoon. Runners will be off and moving. And the payoff pitch. Popped him up. Foul territory, Justin Smoke, the first baseman, puts it away. And that'll do it. But the Rangers come up with another run on a couple of hits. They strand 2. We're going to the 9th inning. It's the Rangers 11 and the Mariners 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Take the EcoBoost Challenge at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Buy the wireless receiver only from AT&T UVerse. Visit att.com/free-your-TV. Rethink possible. And buy Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. Now Michael Kirkman back out to the hill. He will work here in the top of the ninth inning. Rangers leading 11-2.
Well, Michael can finish off this inning. He'll get a save.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what the score is if you pitch 3 innings. Michael's thrown 34 pitches in his 2 innings. No one warming up in the bullpen. So you know that Ron wants him to finish this game off so he doesn't have to use any other relievers. The Rangers leave after the game to go to Anaheim, start a big 3-game series against the Angels. They'd like to use as few pitchers today as you have to. Justin Grimm did a great job. 6 innings, 2 runs. Struck out 9 in the game. Michael's trying to finish it off.
Kirkman fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. Brendan Ryan 1 for 3 today. Check swing. That pitch low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, the Rangers tomorrow night, Derek Holland and Joe Blanton will be the principals in the first game of that 3-game series. To right field. Cruz started and has to retreat a couple of steps. That is out number 1. And let's go to Jim Knox again. Jim.
All right, Buzz, outside the ballpark with the Rangers' new food truck. Pretty cool. You know, next week is the Texas Food Truckin' Fest, and here's Sean Deckard of the Rangers to tell us about that. What about it, Sean?
That's right. Next weekend we'll have 35-plus trucks out here, both Friday and Saturday. Lots of fun, live entertainment. And for more information, hit texasrangers.com/food truck.
There you go, Buzz.
All right, sounds good to me. 1 away. It's the top of the order again for the Mariners. 5th time for Endy Chavez, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Chavez reached via an error in the first inning, came around to score the first run of the game. Also had a double and an RBI. Going the other way, and that's slapped back into the seats. Out of play. And Endy's going to have to get a new piece of lumber to work with. So tomorrow night in Anaheim, it'll be Derek Holland, Joe Blanton. On Tuesday night, Alexi Ogando and Jason Vargas. And then to finish things up, it'll be Yu Darvish and Tommy Hanson. Tomorrow night, AT&T UVerse TV tells you we'll be with you at 9 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest. The first of 3 from the Big A in Anaheim. 3 night games there, and then on to Minnesota for 4 against the Twins. Fouled at home plate. It's still no balls and 2 strikes. One out here in the top of the 9th inning. Kirkman facing Chavez. Ian Kinsler with a dive. He's up with it. Throws him out.
That's a robbery right there. Chavez hit a tough pitch, too. Curveball down and away. He got the good part of the bat on it. Looked like he might have had himself a base hit. Done a nice job of hitting. Instead, Ian, with the all-out dives, stands up and throws him out. Sure, off the bat, Endy thought he had a base hit, but now his heart sinks, and he realizes it's going to turn into an out. Nice play.
And we've seen Ian do that a few times. It's always amazing the arm strength that it takes to get up and turn your body and still get a lot on the throw the way he does. So 2 gone, bases empty. Kyle Seager, last man standing for the Mariners.
If Michael can get him, he will have retired the last 5 hitters, and that would be a nice way to finish it off.
Breaking ball. It is 1-1. Kirkman took over for Justin Grimm. Grimm worked the first 6 innings. Allowed 1 earned run. 2 runs total on 6 hits. That pitch is low. It's 2-1. Grimm walked 1, struck out a career high 9. And now Michael Kirkman trying to work the last 3 to pick up the save and send the Rangers west on a good note. The 2-1 pitch. That ball's hammered to right field. If that's fair, it is out of here. It's hooking and fair. A home run. Just inside the pole for the hot-hitting Kyle Seager. His first home run of the year, and the Rangers now lead 11-3.
Well, Seager was cold at the beginning of the year, but he's warming up now. 3 hits and a walk today. It's a good fastball to hit. Puts a great swing on it. Seager right now, you'd have to say, it really is a second-year player, the Mariners' best hitter. He has the best at bats.
Leonis Morales fouls the first pitch away. It's strike 1.
A few guys might have a little more power, but just as far as a pure hitter goes, he's probably their best hitter.
Morales today, a pair of strikeouts and a pair of groundouts. One ball, 1 strike. Well, Morales battling a little downturn in his statistics also. He's now 0 for his last 9. 1-1 pitch to him. And it's pulled foul. Well, the Mariners now down to their final strike. And the crowd, what's left of the 44,500 on their feet. We want to see Michael Kirkman finish this one off in style. The 1-2 pitch. And we'll go to 2-2. A lot of kids having a great time out at the ballpark. A lot of them brought their gloves out. Enjoying a great day here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And the fans hoping to get the win on this pitch. Pop foul. They'll have to do at least one more. Two and two with Morales waiting. Kirkman is set. To center field. Leonis Martin gliding to his right. Captures that, and the Rangers have made it 3 in a row as they get their first sweep since June of last year. A 3-game sweep of the Seattle Mariners. The final today. The Rangers 11 and the Mariners 3. Justin Grimm with his first victory of the year, and Michael Kirkman the save. As 44,599 were on hand to see the Rangers retake first place in the American League West. They are now a half game ahead of the Oakland Athletics. Nelly Cruz, the big blow in this ball game, a grand slam home run in that 5-run 5th inning for Texas today.
It was a game buzz where we talked before the game. It was important for Justin Grimm to get some innings today because the bullpen was depleted. And boy, he sure went out and did that. He ended up pitching 6 innings. Also, when Michael Kirkman came in, we made the remark that it's a multiple inning day for Michael, and he was able to get through 3 innings, gave up 1 run. So all in all, a good day for the staff, and the offense continues to show some signs of coming out of their early season mini slump. A lot of guys swinging the bats much better right now.
And right now, let's go down to Emily Jones down to the field. Emily?
Guys, thank you very much. Here with Nelson Cruz. Nelly, a great slam on the day. How'd that one feel coming off your bat?
Nice, definitely a good win for us, the pitchers throw the ball really well. The offense has been waking up in the last few games, so it's nice to see that. We're going to face a good opponent in Anaheim, so it's good to have that kind of momentum.
You guys feel, as far as an offense is concerned, that you are getting into a groove, even though it's been a little bit stagnant in April?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get excuses, but I believe the weather the last few games, it cooled the body down a little bit, but it's nice to be back home, and play against in front of the fans,
Also, too, Nelson, the way that the pitching staff has responded with the amount of injuries that it's faced is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. The guys, they come and do a really good job, throw strikes, and that's a special thing,
Nelson, congratulations. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, Emily, thank you. The Rangers in 3 hours and 7 minutes dispatch the Seattle Mariners and reclaim first place in the AL West. There are the standings updated as we speak. Rangers 12-6, the A's at 12-7, and the Angels pending on the outcome of this afternoon's game. They're 5 back right now.